Tonight on Friday Night Football, a taste of final thrills to come.
Williams comes off his wing. There's got to be a gap. Mullins goes down for the corner, and I do believe he's in. Here's Terry Lamb, in and out and back, and then Ryan, and now Gillies goes in to score. How beautiful was it?
Canberra versus Canterbury. In a contest too compelling to miss.
Heavy stuff in there has been the order of the day.
Oh, big tackle there, John Lomax.
Brett Mullins has the Raiders on a record-shattering roll as they shoot for a precious top 3 berth.
Now Mullins opens up again. Oh, look at him go. He beats O'Davis on the outside, and away he goes again. Brett Mullins scores his second 90-metre try. How good is this bloke?
But the irrepressible Terry Lamb is back to add even more bite to the front-running Bulldogs.
And Dimmick runs off a perfect pass by Terry Lamb. There's a try coming. Lamb supports, and Lamb laid it on and then finished it off.
Can the Green Machine maintain their unbeaten run at home?
This is Croker. Croker, 12 out, away from Burner. Back to Manunga. Manunga, he'll score. Oh, what a try.
Or will the Dogs stay on course for that minor premiership prize?
Polomauta works the run around McCracken, bursts into a hole. Wilson's the pop. That's a classic try.
All will be revealed in this Rugby League showpiece. Canberra and Canterbury. Tonight on Wide World of Sports.
I've never liked to put the term of a grand final rehearsal on any particular match, but without doubt the two best teams in the Winfield Cup competition at the moment on form do battle here tonight at Canberra's Bruce Stadium as we welcome you to our Friday night coverage of the clash between the Canberra Raiders and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. The Dogs sit on top of the premiership ladder as they've done for the last 10 weeks, while in the last month no team has got to within 36 points of the Green Machine. Both teams look semi-final bound, and with that in mind, when I caught up with Canterbury coach Chris Anderson earlier today, I asked him how important a win was this evening.
It'll be great for us to beat them down here in their own backyard, obviously. While we both will be in the semis, hopefully, we can hurt their top 3 aspirations if we can beat them tonight. So that'd be a bonus for us if we could have them in Brisbane playing all for 4th and 5th to get rid of one of them. That'd be great. But again, just psychologically, be very good for us to win down here.
Both sides are in very good form. Where have you got to be good tonight to finish on top of this side that is playing with so much confidence?
Yeah, obviously you can't give them broken play opportunities. We just got to close the ball down and control it as much as we can, and not give them too many broken play opportunities. So, if Ricky Stewart's got plenty of time with the ball in his hand and Mullins has got room to move, they're going to hurt you.
Well, closing down the Raiders was something that Canterbury were able to do very well last year. In round 22, they defeated their opposition 32 points to 8. When I caught up with the Canberra coach, Tim Sheens, I asked him whether that result was something still in the minds of his troops.
For sure, and I'm sure it's in Canterbury's mind too. I think they know that if they really get stuck into us, they're going to, that'll be the type of game that they'll try and play. They'll try and intimidate us and get in amongst us, try and crowd us as much as they possibly can, and then use the kicking game to come up with results, which they've been getting good results for. I followed them this year. We've seen a lot of their footy. They get a lot of results from kicks, and they've still got that in their memory that they did well last year against us, and we've still got it in our memory too. That similar pack, very similar pack to what we put out tonight, is got run over last year.
Also making the trek to a very chilly national capital is Phil Gould. Gus, a great game tonight. How do you see it?
Yeah, well, it's a vital game for both sides, Peter. Positions in the semi-finals really depend on tonight's 2 points. Interesting to note, both coaches highlighted strengths in the opposition team in the privacy of their own training camps this week. They've also been highlighting some weaknesses they might exploit tonight. Very interesting game. I think if they play again in the semi-finals, tonight result won't play a big part in their thinking towards that game, but certainly things out of the game will be high on priority at training at that time of the year.
Well, a game that does promise to be one of the very best of the year. The Canberra Raiders looking to go undefeated here at Bruce Stadium for 20 matches in a row. To see if they can achieve that, let's now go to Ray Warren.
Thank you, Peter, and good evening, everybody, and a big crowd in here at the national capital to see the battle that many people believe is a dress rehearsal for the grand final. Competition leaders, the Bulldogs of Canterbury. Many changes They've switched players around. Wilson comes in for Dallas. Williams to the wing. McCracken in for Hughes. Pollum out at a half. Lamb to 5/8. Dimmick to lock. Jason Smith to the second row. And Dean Pay to the bench. And the Raiders, as Peter pointed out, looking for 20 wins in a row at Bruce Stadium and not beaten since the opening round of 1993 on their own soil. Unchanged from last weekend, and what a brilliant performance it was, inspired by that man, Ricky Stewart. And of course, Brett Mullins reaping the rewards of the overall performance. Well, you don't have to be told it's cold here, and Steve Roach can vouch for that.
Yeah, we just have a weather update. It's a comfortable 1 degrees, Rabs. I love it, mate.
Will this sort of temperature have its adverse effects on Canterbury?
Yeah, it certainly does. The hardest part that's coming down here, you've got to warm up properly. Canberra have copped a few teams on the hop, but Canterbury tonight are wearing some thermals, so that should do them. But I don't think it'll take long for this game to warm up.
All right, thank you, Steve. We'll come back to you during the match. Canberra then running from left to right. Greg McCallum is the referee. And of course, Canberra dearly would like to get into that top 3. It might not be this match that is the crunch, but in fact it could be that match against Manly down the track. The first return of the football, and Dimmick wears the lock forward jumper tonight. Ben Gillies a dummy half using Martin Bella. He came off a short run, as they so often do, from back on their own line. And now Darren Britt is taken by a strong Canberra tackle led by Steve Alders, and it goes across now for Darren Smith to unload, and Halligan close to that sideline is pummeled by the Canberra defence. 25 out from their own line, so Canterbury meeting the full wrath of the Canberra defence in the opening set of 6, and now the clear. And Terry Lamb, he gets it down to bounce on the 30-metre line and back inside the 20 it bounces. The name on everybody's lips, Brett Mullins comes out. Noah now, Mandruku. Canberra with their first touch of the football. Croker plays it. Equal leading try scorer. Meninga uses Hetherington. And they're just beyond the 40-metre line. Lomax. Wrapped up by Jason Smith. He's discarded that headgear now, it seems, permanently, as Stewart keeps it low, punches it into the corner. And from the in-goal, Scott Wilson goes back. The chase was good. The tackle made by Fulavai. Canterbury back on their own line, with Darren Smith going in from the centres to do work that he's accustomed to in the forwards.
He's only had one touch of the football, Brett Mullins, but a sense of excitement in the crowd whenever he's near the football. The fact that McCracken has got a little bit of an injury problem, I think that Canberra will aim some attack there, and if he has got a problem with the ankle, the speed of the outside men for the Raiders will find it out.
Interesting to note, Peter, Jared McCracken, usually a right centre, was playing on the left tonight in the early stages of the game. Could be 2 reasons for that. One, to mark Mal Meninga, but 2, I think they would realise, Canterbury, that Canberra could target him in defence and just want to put them in 2 minds in the opening part of the game.
Brett Mullins then comes back with his second touch of the football. He signed up to stay with the Raiders for the turn of the century. And the first penalty of the game sees a Canterbury player down injured.
I think it's Ben Gillies who stayed down.
And he's in Disneyland at the moment.
A little bit of blood up around the forehead area as well. You see there he got the kick and will result in the blood bin. Dean Pay, of course, on the bench for Canterbury. A bad player to bring on. He may get into this action a little bit earlier than expected, as Lomax takes the defence on just on the halfway mark.
An awesome record faces the visiting sides here to Bruce Stadium. Since 1990, they've played 53 games, and Canberra have won 43 of them. And those kind of statistics are not to be taken lightly. There's the head-to-head, very much Canterbury's way since 1982, but not so at Bruce Stadium. A bit of a jostle up in back play as Canberra go on with the football. 30 metres out from the Canterbury line. Away goes Walters from dummy half, and a good run Now they're 18 metres out from the line. Stewart is calling it. He's pointing to the air. And here he is, putting it up now. High and plenty of time for the runners. Wilson gets underneath it. Did he get a shot at the ball? Canberra come down with it. And that is a turnover.
Well, plenty of pressure out there. The bomb finally diffused. I can't understand why the Bulldogs did not have a player out there for Ben Gillies when he left the field. Hetherington will come on now in 22. There you see how close it was. Bradley Clyde coming up with the football. But they went 3 and 4 tackles with only a 12-line defence, and they were busted twice.
The penalties are levelled up. Canterbury get one back on their own 20-metre line against the defence for holding down in the tackle. Cullen pinches Ricky Stewart. What's the story with Ben Gillies, Steve?
Yeah, he had a bit of a cut around the mouth. Got a kick from Mullins, but Jason Hetherington made his return to reserve grade today. He's on the field for Canterbury Bankstown. All right, so Jason's out there in jumper 22. He goes dummy half for Martin Bella. The push is on for Polamatta and the run around with his captain. Then for Wilson, now for Smith. They go to the halfway line and they're put down, the Doggies. The ball comes out. This will be a penalty. Raked out.
Canterbury taking a leap out of last week's game against Newcastle, finding plenty of space out on the edges of Canberra's condensed defence. I think you'll see Canterbury move the ball wide early, a hell of a lot more than they're used to.
Fullervai thinks that he was the man penalised, but in fact it was Bradley Clyde coming in late in the tackle. Bella was wrapped up. They're 38 out from the line. They're on the hillside of Bruce Stadium. Darren Britt. And now from Hetherington, Lamb goes from the open, runs the blind, uses Dimmick, and Jason Smith turns it back. Dimmick trails through, and they're 10 metres out from the line. And the Bulldogs looking good. They come wide through Lamb, the run around, the dummy from Polamatta, the infielder to Britt, and then for Dimmick, and Dimmick is put away. 5 metres out from the line. Canberra now tested, away from dummy half, through the number 7, on to Lamb, the grubber kick, and the chase, and Nandruku takes it over the dead ball line.
The perfect finish, apart from a try, to a very good set of 6. The support play of Canterbury outstanding. You can't score the try, you want the football back. And the kick forced Nandruku to play at it. Line dropout, so another set of 6 for the Bulldogs. And again, they moved the football around so confidently.
Raiders versus the Doggies. 6 minutes gone. Terry Lamb in the number 6 jumper again. Stewart with the line dropout. Not a lot of breeze to worry about, and there it is, 51 metres on the bounce for Craig Polamatta. Born in Melbourne, so the conditions probably don't worry Craig too much. Bella goes inside the 40 and looks at the 30-metre line when pulled down by Walters, and also Quentin Pongia. From Hetherington, they go to a wide blind. Jason Smith, a short ball. Dimmick stands, offers it. It's gone back and put to ground now, Simon Gillies. Simon wearing the headgear tonight. Now from Polamatta, long ball for Lamb, and a straight flat run by Darren Smith, and then Lamb shrugs off a would-be tackle. Jason Williams, one of the key players, and one of the form players, is pulled down by a desperate Mal Meninga tackle. McCracken across for Lamb. Lamb throws the dummy, pushes it out the back. Jason Smith for Jim Dimmick. Dimmick up to the 10-metre line and put away. The ball comes loose and the Raiders have got it.
They've defended very well, Canberra, because they've been under lots of pressure. Their sliding defence. Ruben Wiki on 2 occasions has come up with very good tackles. That one from David Furner jolted the ball loose. Now the Raiders on their own 20-metre line, centre field. Need some football, and that will help. A penalty inside the 10.
Tremendous passage of play there by Canterbury. Very confident start. 5 tackles, got a line dropout. Again, tested Canberra out on the edges of the field near the sidelines and looking particularly dangerous, especially with the likes of Jason Smith and Dimmick. They can not only threaten you on the outside, but have the ability to keep the ball alive and turn it back on the inside. And Canterbury, one of the best support teams in the league, certainly testing them in the early stages.
Penalties level. 2-2. Steve Walters. Struggling run that took him 35 out from the line. Now for Stewart, turns it inside. And that is Pongia. He's had a dreadful season, a dreadful run of luck, medial knee ligaments and ankle ligaments, and here they are. The Raiders with personnel going everywhere very quickly. Dummy half is Ruben Wickie. Bradley Clyde puts his hand up, takes it to the 20-metre line. McCallum says that was across the chest. Play on from Walters away. Stewart holds it back. Now he gives it. Then it's Croker. Then it's Meninga. A desperate pass, but it's forward. And Ruku looks at the line, but McCallum has called it back.
Well, he's on the spot, Greg McCallum. It looked like a line ball decision. Should have been a try if the last pass had found its mark. Good work from Croker to find Meninga. If that pass finds Nandruku, he's in. Referee ruled that it's gone forward.
Gee, looking at it, I'll tell you what, it was a closer call than I first thought.
Very little in it. I hope we don't put the mock on this game, but it looks like being a ripper, doesn't it? Canberra, you can see the importance in their game. Not a side to have set plays from tap kicks or scrums. They just go with the same thing every week and rely on the ability of their individual players. All of a sudden, a game of great importance, they've come out with a blindside set play. It shows that the semi-finals are just around the corner.
Here's McCracken offloading the ball when tackled, and he's been able to promote it via Darren Smith on his outside to 38 metres out from the Canterbury line. No score in the big one of the biggest of the season. Lamb's pass had a question mark on it. Jason Smith, great with the ball. Lamb just as good. McCracken does the same. Hetherington puts it down. And it'll be a scrum 40 metres away from the Canberra line.
Well, this is just tit for tat, isn't it? Both sides prepared to unload the ball, run at holes, and playing with a great deal of confidence. You know, Peter Sterling said before the game, these are the two best sides in the premiership. They're certainly showing the people at home that could well be true tonight.
I don't think there was ever any doubt coming into this game that the side that defensively could be the most effective would win the game. And effectiveness out there means you've got to wrap the ball up. That's what Scott Wilson has done there. When both teams have looked dangerous tonight, it's been because a couple of players have gone in to make the tackle, but the ball has been promoted.
So we're with Bradley Clyde now, almost on the halfway line. David Furner works back across the ruck and tries to pick up a runner. He does that with Quentin Pongia. He had a look too, thinking there might have been another runner available. It wasn't there, and now it's with Stewart. Infield, it goes for Hetherington. A player's hand goes up, appealing for a high tackle on Hetherington. The appeal is turned down by McCallum. Stewart puts it low, down into the corner. Wilson reads it, and he comes away from his own 20-metre line. Runs into the shoulder of Nandruku. From one end of the field to the other. Class rugby league. Halligan across. They've now got numbers on the outside, but Simon Gillies turned his head on it.
They should have passed, had a man unmarked on the outside, had a speed man.
And Canberra trapped inside the 10 metres now with the quick play the ball. Halligan will find the line. 35 metres out from his own line. No team has got within 36 points of the Raiders in the last month. That record looks like being broken tonight. The closeness of this, you can feel it. Tremendous atmosphere at Bruce Stadium as Bella is put away. Darren Brett. Hetherington, you could hear the ground effects microphone, the encouraging words, good hit. And now on the 40-metre line, Polamander finds his captain, Terry Lamb. Infielder for McCracken, he's gone without it. And it's away from Furner, put away now. On the ground there is Quentin Pongia, I do believe. In fact, it's Jason Croker. It comes away for Rick Stewart. Stewart to the halfway line. No score as Mullins unloads. Lomax goes ahead, gets rid of one would-be tackle, that of Darren Brett. And look at the strength of the Kiwi. 35 out now from the Canterbury line. Walters the dummy half. Stewart the receiver. Offers it on the inside for Croker. Goes out for Clyde. Then they find Wickie. And a grassing tackle out there by Darren Smith. One of the best defence centres in the game. Now Clyde offers it out the back. Walters shovels it on. Wickie looks for a space. And they're 30 metres out as it goes back for Stewart. Stewart taken high by Jason Smith. McCallum calls him out.
Terry Lamb appealing that he hit him under the arm.
Rick Stewart to his feet quickly. And Jason Smith called over.
Well, that's the third time that players have gone high on Canberra players. The first one on Clyde, the second on Brett Mullins. The first two were ruled to be around the chest. That one was around the neck. I hope that we've got 26 players left out there shortly. We are going to. McCallum rules that the penalty will be sufficient. Centre field 29 metres out. A little bit lucky, Jason Smith.
Right in front then, 30 metres out.
Value of a good captain there, Peter. As soon as that incident took place, Terry Lamb rang to the referee and started talking. I don't know whether he's done the job to keep him on the field, but he certainly gave Greg McCullum plenty of time to have a think about what sort of action he could take. In the end, he's put him on report, I would say, by bringing the touch judge in and the two captains. Terry Lamb still up talking to the referee now. He'd like to settle this down now and have Greg McCullum remove that incident from his thinking for the rest of the game.
Rick Stewart to be admired as well. He could have probably feigned a more serious injury. He got up very quickly.
I probably shouldn't use his platform, but I like the fact that players are put on report in those instances. I think it'd be nothing worse tonight, or in any game really, not to have the full complement out there, and I'm sure that the people will look at that incident later on.
Well, that's right, and you're not looking at a thug when you're talking of Jason Smith. I mean, he's not a recognised man of violence, and it would be a shame to lose him from the game. David Furner then, who had the perfect record from last Friday night, if memory serves me correctly. This one keeps it intact, straight over the dot. The Raiders fans love it. 2-0, 13 gone, the Raiders against the Doggies.
Good evening. Rowdy scenes this afternoon at the ANU, with law students staging further protests over their $9,000 legal workshop fee. A Belconnen office block was evacuated this afternoon after a fire in the three-storey building. There have been calls for an investigation into the government's urban infill program in Canberra. ACTAB staff have pleaded with Canberra's politicians to stop running down the territory's betting agency. A 13-year-old boy has been charged with setting fire to a house in Tuggeranong earlier this week. A Mitchell company and one of its directors have been fined for breaching the ACT's X-rated video rules. In sport, the Australian swim team left Canberra today, bound for the Commonwealth Games. And the weather, fine and a top of 14 degrees forecast tomorrow after -2 tonight. From the Win News team, good night.
Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, specialists in the marketing of prime quality properties throughout Canberra, are proud to present Victoria Terrace Braddon, overlooking leafy parklands close to the city. Your choice of 1, 2 or 3 bedroom apartments, some with ensuite. For those who appreciate city living while still enjoying tranquility, Victoria Terrace in Braddon is highly recommended. To view plans or select your apartment, phone Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, Yarralumla, today.
This is the symbol of business excellence, the ACT Small Business Manufacturing Award. Only one printer in Canberra has earned the privilege to wear this accolade. Panther Printing, printers of excellence.
With her 4th hit single, Anytime You Need a Friend, there are 4 great reasons why you should have this album. The female artist of the decade, the album of the year, Mariah Carey, Music Box.
The man in the hat is gonna turn and smile at me tonight.
Saturday, August 6 is Tats Lotto Super Draw Night with a Division 1 prize pool of $12 million. Get your ticket now.
Takes me out of here.
Sharwood's Chicken Korma. Cut and fry the onion. Add the chicken. Then stir in Sharwood's mild curry paste. Add water, cover, cook until tender. Finally, the almonds and yogurt. The mystery of Indian cooking, unraveled by Sharwood's.
Welcome back from Bruce Stadium, the national capital, home of the Canberra Raiders, the Green Machine and all of that. And are we watching the dress rehearsal for the grand final? Meninga plays it on the 20-metre line. Forwards, they line up. And here's another high tackle.
It's the same man, Jason Smith, and this time things could well have escalated very quickly.
Jason Smith is in the dock again. A real test for Greg McCallum's patience. I think we've still got 26. We have.
For the rest of the game, Jason Smith has got to be around the bootlaces. Next time he's gone, and you can see there straight away, I think it's Quentin Pongia. He reacted to the tackle. A fine touch, 32 metres out, so a little bit of possession going Canberra's way in the last couple of minutes.
Lomax there. 40 metres out from his own line. Across for Rick Stewart, and now Quentin Pongia, who was involved in that high shot, shovels it back for David Furner. Taken by McCracken. Jason Croker is wrapped up by Jason Williams and Jim Dimmick. There's plenty of everything on offer when you want it. There's plenty of attackers, plenty of defenders. That means it's cancelling one another out. Away from dummy half goes Walters. He went to sleep at marker. They're a little bit slow getting up. And away comes Stewart. Then he finds Meninga. He tries to trample over Williams. Nandruku doesn't remain alert. And this will be a Canterbury feed.
Well, Steve Walters, the best hooker forward I've seen. Just another great display from him, even early in this game. Knows when to run. Nandruku couldn't come up with the catch, a little bit behind him. Bella gets over the top there, but Steve Walters so dangerous when the markers are either a little bit lazy or late getting there. No one penalises you worse.
Canterbury going wide, picking up their fullback, who's put away enthusiastically by Ruben Wiki, and now Lamb comes out from dummy half, and Wiki makes the tackle. And that's 2 for Wiki. Back-to-back tackles, and now it's Darren Britt standing and pushing the pass back. And Polomauda's taken by Meninga. Almost to the halfway line, Canterbury, with Dimmick now. Showing it to Simon Gillies, and then he's wrapped up and put down by Lomax, but it's a penalty to Canterbury. But I think this tackle has been high as well. Well, Greg McCallum is having, for a referee, I suppose, an horrific night. I think we've got to say that, thank goodness, one of the senior referees has got this match. Let's take a comment from Steve as Canterbury prepare to kick for goal from 40 metres out, 12 metres in from touch. And it's a fairly tough assignment, but I wonder, is it for Daryl Halligan, Steve Roach?
No, I don't think so for Daryl. I think he's a very safe goalkeeper. But that one, for mine, well, it wasn't a swinging arm. No way. He had a second go and he just tried to backslam him. I don't think it was. I think McCallum's getting caught up into the fever of things.
Yeah, well, the replay, Steve, substantiates what you say, but of course the tackle was high. And I guess that's all he has to do is enforce the rule book.
Is there any wind down their block? Is it with or against or very still?
No, it's very, very still.
83%. Leading point scorer last year. And the same applies this year. What a magnificent purchase he's been. There it goes. Flags go up. Brett Mullins didn't have to move. He was the man to watch. So we're level. 2 points all after 18 minutes. Friday night rugby league.
Saturday, 8:30, a special presentation.
Father wants the kind of woman I can't be.
Relive the true story that enchanted millions of Australians. Glenn Close and Christopher Walken in Sarah, Plain and Tall Saturday. Then on Monday, Win Television proudly presents the acclaimed heartwarming sequel, Skylark.
You have to go, Sarah.
The greatest love story in recent times.
What will happen to us?
For the first time on television, Skylark, 8:30 Monday on Win.
I thought it was time to find out what makes Goodyear tyres so safe. So I came down to the Goodyear factory and I was really impressed with the commitment of the people. They test and retest every step of the way 45 times. They even x-ray Goodyears. No wonder Goodyear is the biggest selling Australian-made brand. Something these Goodyear people are very proud of because they know
if it only saves you once a year, it's a good year.
He's the strong, dependable type. And he always keeps his cool. He's not afraid to express himself. And how he gets there is just as important as where he's going. And he knows that nothing captures the essence of man like the fragrance of Brute. Brute, men are back.
On now! The end of model run out at Chandler's. New models are coming. All current stock must be cleared at run out prices. Save up to 300 on hi-fis, up to 100 on fridges, up to 250 on TVs. The Chandler's end of model run out. Be quick or miss out. End Saturday.
If you call 131166 right now, you can have any 2 large Pizza Hut pizzas for just $16.90. And I'll have them at your door quick, and then you can say, where am I? Just kidding.
Good afternoon, NRMA, Michael speaking.
Hi, we've had a car accident. What should I do?
Is everyone okay?
Oh, yeah.
Send the assessor to inspect the damage and approve the quote.
Well, so it won't take long.
No, we should have you back on the road before you know it.
Great.
Call NRMA Insurance for HELP.
Sunday, it's the last roll of the dice for the Rabbitohs when they take on the in-form Steelers at the Sydney Football Stadium. Can the home crowd keep South's premiership dreams alive? Find out when they clash with Illawarra. 6:30 Sunday, only on Win.
Welcome back. Canberra restarting following the equaliser from Daryl Halligan. Bella was able to get through, aided and abetted by David Furner slipping over. Just outside the 20-metre line, Jim Dimmick was there. They got a quick play of the ball, but the defence was equal to it. They came up just as quickly. Hardly got across the advantage line. Darren Britt now. 30 metres out, the ball is loose. Still no Ben Gillies back in the game. Apparently he's being stitched up as Jason Hetherington goes into dummy half, and Simon Gillies is the forward that takes it up. 3 Canberra Raiders involved in the tackle. Walters was one, Pongia another, Lomax the other. Lamb puts in the kick and he keeps it deep, but the bounce is unfavourable for Canterbury. Good for Canberra. Brett Mullins comes back and Lamb puts all his team on side by going straight down the ground and then gets involved in the tackle. That's the 30-metre line just behind them as it goes across for Stewart. He holds it back as the Canterbury defence came up umbrellaed, and that shuts Stewart down. Now Furner. Centre of the ground, Stewart across for Hetherington. Turned inside by Pongia. It was a loose pass and eventually it was scooped up. And Canberra holding possession through Jason Croker. 6 more tackles, says McCallum. Canterbury got a touch. Bradley Clyde. A thundering run up to the 40-metre line. Away from dummy half, Walters. He's keen to run. Stewart away. This is David Furner. He gets out of a tackle, and he's pulled down by a desperate diving tackle from Jason Smith. 30 metres out, the Raiders starting to boil. Stewart looks inside, dummies to Pongia. Goes out for Croker, and then, great hands. Great skills by Bradley Clyde.
It was a set move, sending Meninga wide, trying to bring Clyde up the middle. To put the defence into 2 minds, but the pass was a poor one. This is the last tackle now. It'll go to Stewart to the left.
Stewart to the air. Again, look at the height of it. Down it comes in the air. Oh, from nowhere, Brett Mullins. And he's given the try. Oh, this is sensational stuff. He's hurt himself in the tackle, or as he dived in for the try. 6-2 the Raiders. Have a look at it.
Well, he was never going to not score this try, and the kick was the important one because Scott Wilson was heading to the other side. Had no time to come back. What about that? What can you say? It's just you expect it now from Brett Mullins in the form he's in. The kick has actually come back to the right, and that put the Canterbury defence out. They thought he was going to the left side of the field. Mullins knew different.
That was a set play, Peter.
if you watch Ricky Stewart's eyes, the minute he kicks the ball, he aimed to kick that ball left and then take it off the outside of his boot to go right. Mullins was on the inside of him and knew exactly where to chase. They fooled the Canterbury catches. They got plenty of space behind the line, and Mullins with that sheer speed and a tremendous take. I mean, I said unbelievable to a length of the field try last week. That was unbelievable. A great take.
I just think that it shows how good the kick and chase was, with the fact that Scott Wilson, and I'm not sure who was on the left side of the field here for Canterbury, they weren't that far from where the football landed when the ball was kicked, and they didn't have time to turn, react, get back to where the ball had come down.
When you saw the kick, Ricky Stewart knew, facing to the left, that he was going to kick the ball to the right off the outside of his boot. Such was his ability. You can see it in his eyes just as he makes impact with the ball to make sure it's gone in the area that he wanted it to go.
So David Furner, a relatively simple conversion in his current form. He's about 10 metres off centre. 18 tries, and the leading try scorer now is Brett Mullins. His dad's in the crowd. I guess he gets across for all the home games as David Furner. Oh, he's hitting it. He's hitting it like a sterling 9-iron. Great accuracy, 8-2, and there he is. Bill Mullins, the dad of Brett, and a former champion winger with Eastern Suburbs, and played for Australia, of course. Steve Roach on the sideline. They did a Gearan Brentnell on Canterbury.
That was sensational. As Phil said, that was a planned move. He kicked it on the inside, but look, I've got to give a rap to Bradley Clyde. Tim Sheen said he was going to arrest him and play him out a bit wider. He's been unbelievable tonight. First off the ruck every time. Yeah, I thought that Clyde was going to be the problem tonight. I've never seen him play two quiet ones in a row, and compared to his teammates last Friday night at Marathon, he was a little bit quiet. Not this evening.
I just think, Peter, if you look at Canberra's record this year, they've lost 3 games to Canterbury, North Sydney and Penrith. 3 sides that play a defensive system that can get up and bustle them. Canberra like to move the ball wide at every opportunity, and those 3 sides in particular had very strong wins over Canberra. You can see Steve Waller's looking for the yards around the dummy half. Bradley Clyde playing tighter, looking for yards. Canberra realised that was a weakness in those games that they lost, and are making sure that's not the case tonight.
So the Raiders finding the line 40 metres out from the Canterbury line. There's an appeal for a late hit on Mal Meninga.
Well, I think they're also appealing that the Canterbury player touched the football as well. Let's have a look. Meninga under pressure from Dimmick. Just to the left of screen, a Canterbury player tried to play at the football. The referee hasn't seen it that way, so Polomount feeds 40 metres out from his own line. Terry Lamb looks to bring McCracken inside, wide to Smith. They've lost a bit of ground there. Smith makes up for it.
Darren Smith did well, got into the gap, but Halligan's put it down. Scrum will tack just on the Canberra side of halfway.
With the amount of ball movement we've seen in this game, we haven't seen too many handling errors. Pass just too high. Darren Smith had done a great job. They tried to put something on. It wasn't unfolding, and all of a sudden Smith turned and found some open spaces, but his pass to Darryl Halligan too high for the Kiwi winger. So a cheap handover on the halfway line to the opposition.
Canberra almost giving it back to them. Home and away record. Look at Canberra. Well, you know about that. And Canterbury's away record is also very good. 9 wins from 11 outings.
David Furner ruled to have knocked on there or thrown the ball forward. Whatever decision it is, it goes against his side. So a little bit scrappy in the last couple of minutes.
I don't think so. David is saying it didn't, but it came off one hand and back onto the other, and it was propelled forward. McCallum's ruling is right. It's gone across for Lamb, and now with Darren Smith. And he's put away on the halfway line. He's done some good things in the match already, Darren Smith, for Canterbury. And they are a very big centre combination, aren't they, when you look at them? Darren Smith and Jared McCracken. Stephen Hughes relegated with the return of McCracken, but Stephen did magnificently in the period that McCracken was out. Across for Terry Lamb, and now on for Craig Polomount, back in his favourite shirt. His pass has got McCallum with his whistle, and McCallum said it's forward.
Yeah, no doubt there. Polomount throwing the dummy, came through the other side, and I don't think there was any doubt at all. This pass went forward to Darren Smith. You see it there, half a metre to a metre. Been interesting the chase. Nandruka was in full flight, but Darren Smith no slouch. Great speed from a man who can also play in the back row.
I think there was time to pass that ball backwards, but Darren Smith really didn't give him any time to do that. Stampeded onto the ball and rushed the ball player, and that's the reason why the pass had to be thrown forward.
Canberra then winning the scrum, and you would have noticed that Stewart dropped straight back onto the blind wing and let his lock forward Clyde pick it up. And now this is all part of the same play as Mullins takes it to the halfway line. Hetherington is down injured for Canberra in back play as Pongia gets it to within 41 metres of the line. Now back and across. Stewart with the chip. The regather is on. The kick is on again. Oh, he got tripped, did he? No. McCallum said, I saw that play on. Jason Smith is with it for Canterbury. Stewart makes the tackle.
He was going to go close to scoring if he didn't fall.
Exactly right. Good refereeing by McCallum, though. He's been right on the spot in this match tonight.
And a good way to break up a defence, too. If you've got the good little kicking game, take advantage of it. Put them in two minds. Then ability, I think he just tripped over the Canterbury man, completely accidental.
Williams now for McCracken. And McCracken sort of half wishes that he didn't pass it to him because Brad Clyde was in the breach and ready to fire a shot. He did that. Dimmock. Hetherington still on the park. They won't lose anything by having him out there. There's only a struck match between he and Gillies, and another forward pass is detected by McCallum.
Yeah, not a good passage there. I thought that Jason Smith had an opportunity to go to his man before passing. That was to Darren Smith. All that allowed Ruben Wiki to do was to go across and drift onto another man. And that pass there to Halligan once again proved to be the problem. Ben Gillies coming to the sideline. We'll see Jason Hetherington leave the field of play. He spent a long time in the blood bin. And he'll come out with the headgear and pretty heavily strapped around that eye area.
So the scrum 40 metres out from the Canterbury line, and Albert Fullerby goes almost all the way. 15 metres out from the line. Canberra now. They come to the right with Stewart. Pushes it on for Ruben Wiki. Williams comes off his wing. There's space out on the right. And Wiki there's tackled 3 metres out. The dummy half is Jason Croker. Croker with a long ball. Stewart is going to put the long pass on. Lomax short pass. Mullins away. Hetherington on. Fullerby for the corner. Great defence by the Bulldogs.
Oh, great defence. Craig Pollamountle, Terry Lamb was there, Scott Wilson. I've got no doubt the referee was going to award a penalty with Jason Williams completely offside over this side of the field. But 2 rucks later, Canberra could have scored. It was good refereeing, played advantage. Hetherington knew that he had a quicker man on the outside in Fullerby, but Pollamountle and Lamb combined, they've covered plenty of territory to get over there.
Line drop out then to recommence. Scoreboard shows Canberra 8, Canterbury 2. So we come out from the line with the Bulldogs. Their drop kick, 45 metres on the fly, and Mullins sends Hetherington back.
Phil, you're surprised Dean Pay hasn't come into the game as yet? I get the impression that a little bit of the sting's been taken out of this Canterbury team.
I'm very surprised he's not in the starting lineup. I'm not trying to second-guess the coach or the tactics in the game, but he's such a great player and so experienced that I'd have had him there at the start of the game. You can see that Canberra are definitely starting to get an edge on Canterbury, and they need someone as experienced as Pay on the field.
Played by Mullins then, swept away from dummy half from Nandruku, through Stewart and onto Clyde. Clyde steps around and almost gets through, gets a pass back, but it's gone to ground.
Ricky Stewart, you can see the disappointment and the frustration there. He knew that they were very close to getting their second try. Bradley Clyde inside Simon Gillies. The pass there, good tackle coming from behind from Jim Dimmock, hit him on his blind side. And they really need to string together some sets of 6 now, Canterbury. They've been under all sorts of pressure for 10 minutes.
Darren Smith then comes away from his own 10-metre line from the set scrum. A comment on the sideline with Steve Roach.
Yes, the mistake Canterbury are making at the moment is Jared McCracken and Jason Williams coming in off their positions all the time, which allows Mal to stand in tackles and offload the Mullins.
Darren Britt now pushes the attack forward for Canterbury as they bring it away from the danger zone. Ben Gillies with the headgear on now. So 3 of the Bulldogs in headgear. Simon and Ben Gillies and Darren Smith. And the kick back to Brett Mullins. You can sense the crowd when rugby league heralds a new hero. There's not that many of them around, but you can sense that when Mullins touches it, the crowd just automatically rises.
You can also sense that the Bulldogs knew how important it was to keep one straight line. Doesn't matter how quickly you come up on the kick, as long as you come up together. Newcastle didn't do that last week.
Play by Clyde, given by Walters. Stewart looks inside, goes out for Lomax, looks for a runner. There's David Furner, gets a pass away. Foulabai, he goes for the corner, and he gets it down for the second try. Canberra, the Raiders, they lead 12 points to 2 now.
A great combination of game from the big Canberra forwards, combining with their back line. I think Scott Wilson makes a mistake here with Terry Lamb. They get mixed up. The inside pass here with a dummy opens something up on the outside for Lomax. He finds Furner, who's a great support player, pushes out a bridge tackle. Now let's have a look for Scott Wilson. If he frees it there, Scott Wilson was actually coming in to take this man, but Terry Lamb was always never going to have the pace with Foulabai on his outside. Scott Wilson had to be the man to stay out and leave the inside runner for his 5'8".
Try again then.
Let's just have a look and see if this picks it up. Great work from Furner, keeping the ball alive. Foulabai has really got a free run to the line, and there were 2 Canterbury players there. Terry Lamb didn't have the speed to get there. I think Wilson would have.
Interesting work there by Ricky Stewart. That's something Canberra's worked on this week, I believe, having an inside trailer there for Ricky Stewart, able to hold the defence up. He showed the ball on the inside. That made the defence stand flat-footed. And John Lomax, who was moving at pace on the outside, was able to run through a couple of arms and make a half break to promote to Furner. Ricky Stewart working with his forwards on the edge of the ruck. Steve Waller's giving them trouble around the play-the-ball area, and Canterbury are starting to sit back on their heels a little bit and ball watch. When they do that, Canterbury will get the ball to the outside and punish them.
Is it any wonder that this has been a week of not just signing Brett Mullins, but also this youngster David Furner? He was seen to the fore in the lead-up to that try. And here he is looking for 3 from 3. 12 metres in from the hillside. Very big crowd in at Bruce. With David Furner, this time just offline. It's the first one I think he's missed in something like 12 shots if you include last weekend at Marathon. 12-2, the Raiders over the Bulldogs.
Good evening. A change expected across the region late in the weekend. On the south coast tomorrow, fine and mostly sunny with fresh west to northwest winds, temperatures in the high teens. On the tablelands, cloud increasing with light northwesterlies, 13 degrees expected in Goulburn and Cooma. And the ACT, fine with cloud increasing and freshening northwest winds, -2 overnight, 14 degrees tomorrow. Have a great weekend.
Where on earth could you find the finest quality Italian terracotta without paying too many lira? At Amber. Yes, Amber. Imported tiles at local prices. While they last, at Amber.
Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, specialists in the marketing of prime quality properties throughout Canberra, are proud to present Victoria Terrace Braddon, overlooking leafy parklands close to the city. Your choice of 1, 2 or 3 bedroom apartments, some with ensuite. For those who appreciate city living while still enjoying tranquility, Victoria Terrace in Braddon is highly recommended. To view plans or select your apartment, phone Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, Yarralumla, today.
Bosch quality and performance completes the automotive circuit. Bosch batteries, a complete new range available now. Batteries built to exacting specifications. There is a Bosch battery to suit your needs. Available now from Belconnen Auto Electrics Belconnen, Monero Auto Electrics Queanbeyan, Lee & Thomas Auto Electrics Phillip, and Canberra Auto Electrics Dixon.
You save more at Allen's Retrovision Superstores with a low 6.95% reducible interest. This Whirlpool front load washer is $8.85, save $140 and get this bonus $90 package. Two 50-litre two-door frost-free refrigerators, $7.49, save $50 and get a bonus freezer pack. Top of the range Whirlpool microwaves, $5.99, save $50 and get a bonus freezer pack. You save even more with a low 6.95% reducible interest. Only at Allen's Retrovision Superstores, with Fishwick open 7 days.
Talk to your local Team Nissan dealer about Bluebird.
Jump in my car.
How about jumping into a new Bluebird from just $29,990 drive away?
I wanna take you home.
Air conditioning, central locking, power steering, alloy road wheels, power windows, cruise control, 2.4-litre twin cam,
Jump in my car.
112 kilowatts of power.
I wanna take you home.
All for the drive away price from only $29,990.
Jump in my car.
Is this value for money? Is it what?
I wanna take you home.
Jump in fast and grab a great deal.
Where on earth could you find superb Spanish floor and wall tiles without paying too many pesetas? At Amber. Yes, Amber. Imported tiles at local prices. While they last, at Amber.
On 60 Minutes. They think they're part of a movie or a TV show. It's the greatest show on earth. Media madness.
The entire country's been mesmerized by this case.
The crazy trial of O.J. Simpson. The worst nightmare of the white community. Also, Rwanda. How this horror happened. Jeff McMullen with the men behind the massacre. And acting lessons.
See, what you do is you look at the piece of tape.
From Oscar winner Tom Hanks.
Showing up on time, running the lines, don't bump into the furniture.
Together presents 60 Minutes Sunday.
Welcome back. With Daryl Halligan starting the next passage of play for us. And John Lomax, 15 out from his own line.
A couple of times I've spoken to Ricky Stewart this year, Ray. He's certainly got a big rap on John Lomax, the Canberra front rower. He says he's as tough as any front rower he's ever played with. And you consider the teams that Ricky Stewart has been with, that's a fairly big rap. John Lomax, bought by the Raiders last season, has done his apprenticeship, now one of the 4 front rowers in the competition.
Meninga now. Ball pushed down for Clyde, and Clyde is taken by a much smaller Terry Lamb, and Jason Smith comes in to assist.
Sorry, Ray, Canterbury have made a change with Mark Brokenshire on in 41. Martin Bella, the man replaced. Stewart drives the ball towards Daryl Halligan's wing and gets it on the first bounce.
Halligan met by his opposite man, Albert Fullevi. And away from Smith into the hands of Polomouta, who crosses the 40-metre line, but he's pulled down by the man Phil Gould was just talking about, John Lomax. Darren Britt got a good play the ball. That saw him go 15 metres down the park, and then Jared McCracken did very well. It was a mongrel of a pass, really, but he put his body on the line, and Jason Croker accepted it. Now they're on the 40-metre line as we come wider. And now Ben Gillies, then with Lamb. And across for Jason Smith. Dimmick probing, struggling, looking to promote. Lamb, the pass for Ben Gillies to knock on. Stewart comes up with it, advantage.
Well, it would have been 6 again too. It was touched by a Canberra hand. Gillies could have held on to that one. They'd have been able to string it together. Now they're going to lose another 15 to 20 metres here, maybe more by being inside the 10.
Still look dangerous, Canterbury, when they get the ball to the outside. They'll like to get a try on the board before half-time. The big thing about playing a game where you're spreading the ball around, when you get well behind on the scoreboard, as they are now, tends to be a little bit of panic in your game. And you can see Canterbury there coming up with a loose pass, Canberra in possession. Then they compound that by giving away a penalty. Now Canberra got a good set of 6, and they're going to come down with some terrific field position.
The Raiders taking the tap with Steve Walters sending Lomax into the defence. And just take my eyes away to the stats. 11 tackles and 9 hit-ups. Lomax, Pongia actually heads the hit-ups with 3 more than Lomax. So they're getting great value out of them as Stewart cuts out Lomax. Then Meninga, a catch and pass, and Mullins did very well. Mandruku wrapped up by McCracken.
Beautiful pass, wasn't it?
Scuffle up in back play now. Mullins is involved with Jason Williams. Sunday's telecast match, by the way, South and Illawarra. A couple of the publications, or one at least, indicates we're doing Manly Newcastle. The 9 match is South St Illawarra on Sunday. Now this is pretty much what happens in back play. We've got a good shot of it. I still haven't seen a punch thrown. It looked like it might have been a knee there, but I don't think so. And the penalty has gone to Canberra for holding the player out of the game. That's the ruling that he's applied as Canberra take the tap, and Lomax again. First man up looking for runners. And that's a very strong tackle, forcing him back by Brokenshire. Stewart now has Hetherington running at close quarters. Pongia chimes in. Furner's with it again in the thick of the action. And he's 18 metres away from the line. Walters is the dummy half. He's done a lot of running tonight. Hetherington angles back in and then puts it out the back. Was it knocked on? It's with Walters. McCallum says no, not knocked on. Walters running, and then McCracken takes him. He gets the ball away. It came off the head of a Canterbury player. Not play that. Now it's with Meninga. This is Nandruku. Tries to put the step on. He's pulled down inches inside the field of play. Only a couple of metres out from the line. Canberra looking for another try before half-time. The big pass away. Lomax shovels it on. It's gone out for Ruben Wiki, and Wiki goes in to score. Another try for Canberra. Right on half-time.
Tremendous hands by the Canberra back line. Ricky Stewart, plenty of vision, the big long ball, but a couple of real quick players by players standing in the back line, and Ruben Wiki. These Canberra backs must really love playing with some forwards who can unload the ball under pressure and get the ball to the outside quickly. Ricky Stewart certainly commanding Canterbury's attention tonight as a player who's got to be reckoned with during the semi-finals. Long ball from Stewart. Who's that? Lomax. Quick hands again from Furner. And Wiki on the outside, too much pace. He's a player who loves to score tries. And the Canberra crowd, well, they're enjoying this. Look at the length of the pass. Great hands under pressure from both forwards. And now Ruben Wiki places it down, and that's a big lead coming into half-time in such an important game. Canterbury playing the penalty for a few loose passes and some penalties under pressure.
Now, Terry Lamb has been called back by the referee. There was a committee meeting, if you like, the referee talking to Terry Lamb and Jared McCracken, and McCracken was the man on the end of McCallum's warning. It was to do with a late tackle, I suspect, on Ricky Stewart after he passed the football during that try. You probably saw it on the wide shot. McCracken, I don't know that he could have pulled out of it. But he certainly put Stewart down. Stewart's received attention. He's back on his feet. Watch it now. This is Stewart with the ball now. And there's the shot. There's no indication of a high tackle, I'm sure. And Stewart talking to the trainers. Magnificent player, isn't he?
Yeah, tremendous player. Big boost for the Canberra forwards right on the eve of the semi-finals too. I mean, many thought that Newcastle could test them last week. They're coming up against Canterbury, one of the form packs in the premiership. And these forwards are finishing on top tonight. And the backs are just paving the way for what looks like a good win.
Well, I said that to you last weekend, Phil. You know, a lot of people tend to think that Canberra's got a soft belly in the forwards. But, geez, I reckon they're a good pack of forwards. And here's the kick from the sideline, taking the upright. As we take a look at the half-time score. Canberra, 3 tries, magnificent tries, 16-2. They lead Canterbury Bankstown. We'll take a break and come back to Bruce Stadium with Peter Sterling and Phil Gould. And they'll look back at the first half in just a moment. Don't go away. Friday Night Rugby League on the 9 Network. Thank you for joining us. Back in a moment.
Live. Australia's best in a television milestone. Win Television presents John Farnham's Concert for Rwanda, live 8:30 Sunday.
Take on a tough job in tough country, and you usually have to get there on all fours. But when that's not enough, you just have to use your muscle. That's why the Mitsubishi Triton 4x4 cab chassis comes with all the muscle of a big V6. And if you can't rely on a big V6 with four-wheel drive to get you there, who can?
things are hard in the rat race, so if you want a real advantage, try fully reconditioned furniture from Raycon. It goes just as well as anything else, only it costs less. Raycon, Barrier Street, Fishwick.
You may not think it's the right season to be in the garden, but now really is the time to prepare. Because if you prepare the soil now, when it's time to plant, you'll have a much better result. And you'll find all the fertilizer and supplies you need at the garden. So dig it in. And when it's time to plant, you'll have a garden that's Botanicus perfectus.
Is there a printer who'd make a small number of, say, business cards with raised lettering at an affordable price? Or who'd be happy printing as few or as many colour photocopies as you want? There is one. Why don't you call them?
House Hunters provides a complete marketing package for private home sales, so you pay no commission. Successful House Hunters sales have swept across the Canberra region. For the average agent commission on the sale of a property, you could market your property with House Hunters for over 12 months. The average House Hunters sale takes just 4 weeks. House Hunters, the smart option.
Ice. Ice beer. A unique method of brewing where the brew is super chilled in special chambers until ice crystals form. The crystals are removed, creating a refreshing, easy-to-drink beer with a taste and clarity unsurpassed. Only one brewer in Australia has the secret of ice. That is why there is only one ice beer. Han Ice. The Ice Age is just beginning.
Sometimes when you build a game up to a great extent, it can be an anticlimax. That is not the case here at Bruce Stadium. At half-time, the Canberra Raiders lead Canterbury 16 points to 2. After 40 minutes, that has had everything in it. There you see the statistics of the first 40. A lot of possession for the Raiders. It really swung around after about the 20-minute mark. They've been able to go on and make many more line breaks, 4-1. Haven't missed many tackles. Canterbury had been under a lot of pressure in the latter part of that first half, and that's why we see the scoreline as it is. Work rate for both packs, well, very even for the Canberra side. Fern and Lomax have been outstanding, not just with their tackling, but the fact that they've taken the ball up, especially Lomax so often, and have been able to unload. Bradley Clyde very involved tonight, while for Canterbury, we see the man leading the way, Simon Gillies. That's a big tackle count, 16 in the first half. Jason Smith went high a couple of times, but still well up there. And Darren Britt, the third best work rate-wise for the Canterbury side. But they've been very, very good. Phil Gould, and we've seen some classic stuff there. We're going to go through the tries, but Canberra really have come out. Probably didn't start as well as their opposition, but when they got a sniff of possession, they went on with it.
They certainly did. You've got to keep the ball away from Canberra. Canterbury, under a little bit of pressure, have dropped a bit of ball and given away some penalties, and that's put Canberra back into the game with some set plays. They've put plenty of pressure on, and I mean some great individual performances. Stewart and Mullins with that great kick and chase try. I mean, I think that's at Canterbury back on their heels.
Well, let's have a look at that. One of the best tries we'll see all season, and as you say, it is a set move. Ricky Stewart knows exactly where he's kicking it and who for.
Yeah, I think most times sides tend to single out the Canterbury wingers as players to bomb. Wilson would have known that. You'll see Stewart look straight back to where he's kicked the ball at the post, and Mullins was waiting on the inside for the chase. Canterbury protective of their wingers under the high ball, left the posts alone, and Mullins and Stewart found them out.
Great work there. Mullins did hurt himself in scoring the try, but he never took his eyes off the ball, and Scott Wilson and the rest of the Canterbury players thought the ball was going out to the right-hand side of the field. The second try, Fulavai, has come into the side. It'll be interesting to see what happens when both Daly and Nagus are also fit to come into this team, but he's making every post a winner and got the second for the Raiders tonight.
It's a nice sort for the opposition, isn't it, Daly and Nagus to come out. You'll see Ricky Stewart show the ball on the inside here. That just held the Canterbury defence up enough for Lomax to find a chink. Ferner, step and pass. And now Fulavai, a player who's been in the grade for a couple of years, showing the benefit of that and running around to score the try.
Well, the combination of both the forwards and the back line have been very good. We see David Furner throwing the pass there. And the last try, we talk about Ricky Stewart's great pass, and it is a sensational pass, reminiscent of what he did to Newcastle once last week. but the quick hands at the end of this too takes plenty of ability. That one and that one.
2 forwards standing in the back line, passing under pressure, and a centre in Ruben Wiki to take the benefit of that. John Lomax and David Furner, take your hat off. I mean, this is a long ball. You can see Canterbury put plenty of pressure on here. Catch and pass one motion, catch and pass one motion. Ruben Wiki standing start. Still too much pace for the defence, and a great try right on half-time. Maybe seal the victory this far from home.
Well, OK, if the victory isn't to be sealed, is it fair to say that Canterbury have got to score very early in this second 40 to get that platform back in the game?
Exactly. I mean, probably 14 points they wouldn't see beyond them, provided that Canberra don't score again. That'll be their goal, to keep Canberra scoreless in the second half and hope they can whittle away. If they can score first and get back in the game, maybe they'll get some panic from Canberra and a few drop balls and a little bit more possession. But they've got to control the ball and control Canberra's attacking game, make sure they don't get on the board again.
Yeah, I think Canterbury have got to take some chances in the second half, which means we're going to have a great 40 minutes as well. I guess there's plenty of young guys sitting at home marvelling at the skill level of this particular game. And a good skill level from these schoolboys in our Commonwealth Band Cup up to the third quarter final. Match between Parramatta Maris brothers up against Kingsgrove High School. That's at 12 noon tomorrow. And from this game, we've chosen this as our Coca-Cola Junior Player of the Week.
Clear it all the way right out of it.
Now Surtees straight through the gap over halfway. He steps the fullback. What about the pace of Nicholas Surtees? The pass to Daya, just 5 metres out from the line. Shades of Steve Roach from Nicholas Surtees.
Scored the left if they go left.
The quick play, the ball not coming as Bailey gets the pass away to Paolini. Now on the outside, McEwen. Through the hands they go. Edwards, the front rower, gets the try out in the centres.
And well deserved too there from Edwards.
The very, very best of schoolboy rugby league in our Commonwealth Band Cup, and once again we do thank Coca-Cola for their continued support at the junior level. And a great second half coming up here, 16-2 at half-time in favour of the Canberra Raiders. Canterbury not out of this. They're sitting on the top of the table because they have been able to come back under pressure. They'll need to do so tonight. But again, it's a great platform to go into what is a good weekend of sport once again. This is what you'll see on the Channel 9 cameras.
Tomorrow on Wide World of Sports, the exclusive untold story of fallen champ Mike Tyson's journey to greatness and ultimate disaster. Those 2-litre machines go crazy in the latest round of the Touring Car Series. We'll climb into the ring with wrestling's modern-day Amazons, chase the offshore monsters up and down the coast in the Sydney-Newcastle Powerboat Classic, and ask what handicapper snow skier Michael Norton goes beyond the edge. Join Maxie Walker on Sunday morning for a classic diving adventure in the company of sharks. Then slip in the old mouthguard and dive into the ruck with all the gang for another fabulous edition of The Footy Show. On Sports Sunday, we'll see how Darryl McDonald made the journey from his New York neighbourhood to a new life in the NBL. And review the resurrection of Rugby League's Cliff Lyons. All that coming your way this weekend on the one and only Wide World of Sports.
TV super vixen Heather Locklear.
I don't know if you know this, but you are something of a legend.
A sultry seductress.
You were top of your class.
A ruthless role model.
You have a really nice apartment. Thanks.
The ideal success.
Your hair is really great. Where'd you get it done?
Betsy, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else.
Imitation.
I think they're really me.
Is the deadliest form of flattery. Heather Locklear and Linda Pearl.
I'm sorry. There's no other way.
In a game of psychotic obsession. Body Language, 8:30 Wednesday on Win Television.
Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, specialists in the marketing of prime quality properties throughout Canberra, are proud to present Victoria Terrace Braddon, overlooking leafy parklands close to the city. Your choice of 1, 2 or 3 bedroom apartments, some with ensuite. For those who appreciate city living while still enjoying tranquility, Victoria Terrace in Braddon is highly recommended. To view plans or select your apartment, phone Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, Yarralumla, today.
Bosch quality and performance completes the automotive circuit. Bosch batteries, a complete new range available now. Batteries built to exacting specifications. There is a Bosch battery to suit your needs. Available now from Belconnen Auto Electrics Belconnen, Monero Auto Electrics Queanbeyan, Leon Thomas Auto Electrics Phillip, and Canberra Auto Electrics Dixon.
Holden Rodeo with trade, just $17,990 on road. In Canberra, one dealer offers just that. Beasley and Bruce. Rodeo for just $17,990 on road. Beasley and Bruce, licensed Rodeo dealer, Braddon.
It's Beasley's.
You know, some people reckon country music's just
dull.
Some even think it's
boring.
Maybe even a bit
Old hat.
Some even say it's
kind of like watching paint dry.
Well, not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Garth Brooks.
I've never had a heartache. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain. It's out of my hands, I'm shaded. I don't have a power now.
He's the biggest selling recording artist in the world today. Garth Brooks. The pop phenomenon of the 90s, and you'll know why when you hear his 3 brilliant albums, No Fences, Rope in the Wind and In Pieces.
They did it in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. Now it's our turn, Canberra. Tickets are selling fast for Canberra's farewell to Mal Meninga. If you've ever supported the Green, you can join with the Plays for a night of nostalgia as they pay tribute to their captain on the eve of his retirement. Phone now for your booking.
Hey, look at this.
What is it?
An old lamp, I think.
3,000 years in that. How dull. You know the deal? 3 wishes and all that?
3, huh? All right. I want a packet of Tim Tams that never runs out.
You have 2 wishes left. Then we'll have 2 more of those.
Arnott's Tim Tam. What more could you want?
Welcome back to Bruce Stadium. As Halligan starts the second half of this tremendous clash between Canberra and Canterbury. Canberra asserting their superiority for the time being, just coming up to half-time. The start was so tight, one end to the other, and then Canberra with that incredible try by Mullins. And then they added 2 more to it, one just before half-time. This is David Furner, who had a great first half. He's tackled on the 40-metre line. No changes to either side as Walters again goes for a dummy half scamper. He's done a lot of that tonight. Steve Roach on the sideline.
Yeah, for the Raiders, Tim Sheen saying it's a great opportunity for his team to get a little bit of confidence for the semi-finals. The thing that he did say to his side is don't get involved in the niggle. A couple of times Canterbury have tried to niggle and they've scored tries from it, so don't get involved in that. Also in the Canterbury room, too many push passes, too many errors as we all seen in the first half, and they've got to put the Raiders on the ground.
Thank you, Block. Just looking at Steve Walters, he's got a bit of trouble. It could be an eye injury. He's out of the front line. He's back in a sweeping role at the moment. McCracken is tackled after a strong run 30 metres out from his own line. Darren Britt runs into Walters now, together there with Quentin Pongia. They put him away. 3 tries then to Canberra, none to Canterbury. The Doggies, premiership leaders coming into tonight.
That's a good decision for Canterbury there. They were up to their last tackle, going to kick the football. And Mel ruled to have had his hand in around the ball area, and I think rightly so. Another set of 6 here. They find touch 31 metres out. And as we said at half-time, they've got to be the first team to put points on. They have to put them on early, I think. Interesting decision coming up here as well. They've taken the quick tap.
Across now for Dimmick, and Dimmick has to put himself through a gap. At the same time looking to unload to a runner. 10 metres out from the line. Is this where Canterbury puts themselves well back in the game? Hetherington back on for Ben Gillies. Back now and across from Jason Smith. A wide ball out of the clutches of Jason Williams.
And Simon Gillies could see that his wingman in Daryl Halligan was a long way on the outside. Look where Noah Nandruku is there. They wanted to get the ball, but by the time the ball was delivered, they'd been able to slide. The pass well in front. In fact, it's Jason Williams. Frustration there. Second tackle, they've made the mistake.
Nandruku coming away from his wing on the blind side. Croker plays it after being slammed down by McCracken. Clyde gets away from Terry Lamb. Gets the pass out the back for Steve Walters, and they're almost out to the 20-metre line. Nandruku a dummy half. Hetherington.
Interesting decision then, as Peter said, by Canterbury to take the quick tap. They've got a dead eye in Darryl Halligan very, very early in the second half. 2 points would have got them back to within 8 points and a confidence booster. They went for the try and came unstuck. Very important 40 minutes for Canterbury. Speaking of semi-finals and the fact that these two teams will meet later in the season, this 40 minutes is what they're going to take into the semi-finals if that rematch comes about.
Stewart got an ordinary pass from dummy half, and the kick has done the left-hand turn, and Darryl Halligan looked at it as if to say, who is this guy?
Well, he does it too often for it to be a fluke. I mean, Ricky Stewart spends at least 2 hours per day, every day, out kicking the ball. And, I mean, people will see that as a lucky bounce, but he can actually make the ball talk. You can stand with him at training. He can make the ball bounce left and right. Sterlo's laughing because he couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm still yet to hear this ball talk, but it sounded all right.
Mate, last!
Make it bounce left and right. Have a look at the football. Bounces anywhere.
Canterbury now.
You can make a golf ball go left and right. Why can't he make a football go left and right?
Well, he probably can.
Wilson gives it on. McCracken gets rid of Hetherington. Coming across, Big Mal puts him down. Two of the giants of the game, Meninga and McCracken, confronting each other tonight. Darren Britt, 42 out from his line. 16-2 on the scoreboard as Dimmick reaches the halfway line.
Just on that centre battle, I do think the Canterbury centres have been caught out a fair bit positionally tonight. McCracken has rushed up on many occasions and come up empty. At least one of those tries, Darren Smith was actually inside both Dimmick, another Canterbury player, and his winger. They've had a few problems marking up properly in defence. And with Stewart's long passing game, they haven't been able to recover.
They're playing out of position too, Peter. I said at the start of the game. Whether they've done it tactically, maybe it's because of the injury to Jared McCracken, I don't know. But normally, McCracken would play on the right-hand side of the field for Canterbury and Smith on the left. And as you say, they've been very tentative or certainly come up and taken some wrong options in defence.
Good push. Canberra's half. Stewart feeds the scrum. It's recalled. 23 metres away from the Raiders' line. 3 tries to 0 in favour of them. And Fildervai, who scored one of those tries, is tackled 30 metres out from his own line.
I couldn't read Ray, but that ball said something to Ricky Stewart as he put it in.
Meninga breaks into space. Outside him is one of the fast men, Nandruku. He doesn't go for him, he goes for Mullins. Turns it back inside. Meninga! He scores himself! Oh, that is brilliant! Well, the captain's got a try. He had more speed around him than you'd find at the Olympic Games, and he finished up scoring it himself.
Oh, and the crowd hate it here too, Ray. Standing as one. Again, beautiful work from the outside men. There's McCracken flying up, getting nobody. Mal Meninga, he's got Nandruku there. He looked to be the obvious target. Comes back inside, and Brett Mullins appears from nowhere. The pass back inside. Fingertip control from the big man. Bamboozles the Canterbury defence. Jason Williams falls to the left-hand side. Scott Wilson tries to come up with a shoulder charge. That was probably never going to be that effective. Great try.
What about that? What about Mal Meninga's catch at the end here? Good ball to Mullins. Torpedo pass back in field, one-hander with players hanging all over him. Try and stop this running at you. No chance.
If we do get another chance to have a look at that, I think it illustrates the fact that Jared McCracken was again caught out there. He went up very quickly on the outside, and that allowed a yawning gap for Mal Meninga when there really wasn't that much on. McCracken, I think, having a look for Brett Mullins, and again, that's the value of Mullins. Even when he's not getting the football, people are looking for him.
David Furner then. From a rather wide angle. I don't think you get it much wider. 2 from 4 for David Furner. A member of a very youthful second row. Combination that is doing the job for the Green Machine. And they look every bit of that tonight, don't they? From what some call the T-bar, he's hit it beautifully.
That ball talks, Zerlo.
22-2. 22-2. Where's Richie? 47th minute of the game.
For the latest in Canberra news, the choice is Win News.
A Legislative Assembly inquiry has begun into Canberra's petrol prices and supply arrangements.
6:30 National 9 News with Brian Henderson.
The drought now covers 60% of the state.
And at 7 o'clock, Ray Martin, A Current Affair. There's no better choice in news and current affairs.
Oh, that's why Canberra loves to win.
You are not dumb, but I need you to know that.
The story of a man who had a lot to teach and a lot to learn. Now, the military has a new secret weapon, poetry.
Victory starts
Danny DeVito.
Here.
Army Intelligence.
Oh, I can't wait to go to the party tomorrow night. Wait till you see my new dress. It's fuchsia. Yeah, right. Yeah, the baby's right. Oh, yeah, it's off the shoulder and has these ruffles. Oh, I just love it.
Uh-oh, you're gonna need bells today.
Sinclair's Furniture Discounts Bedding Department grand opening sale. All beds, bunks, mattresses, bedroom suites, chests and bedside tables slashed to unbelievable low discount prices. Hurry, stock won't last. Top of the range Sealy Viscount queen size mattress and base $7.50. Ascot single in a spring mattress $89. Health Support queen size mattress and base $3.99. 3-drawer bedside chest only $37. Jumbo chest with 6 drawers $120. And Teresa 4-piece bedroom ensemble $3.99. Sinclair's Furniture Discounts Crawford Street, Queanbeyan open 7 days and Thursday night.
1, 2, 1, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, testing. Testing, check. Test the 121, the new Oz 94 limited edition Mazda 121. And it's on the road at $15,990. 1, 2, 1, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, testing. Yes, it's all set. The new limited edition Mazda 121. $15,990. $15,990. Only at Rolf Mazda Belconnen. That's Rolf Mazda Belconnen.
Available right now. Full standard residential sized blocks beside your own golf course from $58,000. Why live just anywhere when you can live on a golf course for the same price? Tee off to your new lifestyle in the prestigious Golf Course Estate.
When new lifestyles begin.
Back at the football. As the Gould-Sterling joust continues, Canberra, they continue with Canterbury. 22-2. And Lomax, 25 out from his own line. If that man would have a ball with this scoreline. Clyde now. Is a fortnight from coming back. Paul Vaughton. Pongia gives it away. That's Mullins. He's a sort of a string bean, if you like. Brett Mullins. Walters is not. And there chiming in is David Furner. Furner turns something out of nothing. Goes away from Wilson. Oh, great run by David Furner. Walters now hears the call. Stewart goes across looking for runners. Meninga comes in, so does Hetherington. And Ricky gets the try. His second of the night. That is beautiful rugby league.
Yes, on the last tackle, Ricky Stewart knew that the numbers were out wide. But just have a look at the way he drifts across, making sure the Canterbury defence cannot reform. Great work from Steve Walters there, using Darren Britt as a shepherd. Britt was offside, so he couldn't come up with the tackle. David Furner nearly did it all himself. In fact, if Scott Wilson hadn't have come up with a desperation tackle right at the death there, Furner scores the best try we've seen all year. Look at the defence for Canterbury, all caught out. Stewart comes across. As we freeze play there, he's run across to make sure that these players here are committed. If he'd have thrown the football wide straight away, they could have drifted. But by going across as play continues, he's kept them in close, and that meant it was always going to be on out wide. Hetherington, another beautiful pass, short pass. He was involved in Wicky's first half try. His back row from Canberra. The whole pack, they can all use the football.
The green machine.
What do you say? Ruben Wickie gets his second. And I wonder what the price assessors are doing at this very moment.
I think they're furiously twiddling their knobs into the red. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
The same before the game, Sterlo, that I didn't think the result of tonight's game would have any bearing when the two teams met again in the semi-finals. But this is starting to get to the embarrassing stage for Canterbury. And you'd start to wonder with Canberra in the mood they're in. I mean, there's some real danger signs in that last try with people just falling off tackles. An important 30 minutes now coming up for Canterbury. And if this does get to the embarrassing stage, I mean, how's that going to affect them at semi-final time?
26-2 then. Go in with David Furner with this conversion attempt from the other junction of the 20-metre line with the touchline. Success from the other side. Oh, I think he's got it. No, it's gone away. So no addition to a try scored by Ruben Wickie, made by that young man, David Furner. 50 minutes gone, and this is another angle on it.
Yeah, great work from Stewart and Meninga, and especially Hetherington. He was under all sorts of pressure. Ruben Wickie, probably the lowest profile player in their all-star backline. But gee, doesn't he enjoy playing outside the talent that opens up those kind of holes for him, makes it very easy.
Another forward in the back line there again, Hetherington with the quick catch and pass, as you say. They've done that all night, the Canberra players. Great talent in their forward pack. In the old days, you didn't want your forwards in the back line. I can remember Warren Ryan saying it was like having trombones in the violin section. But they're playing like violins tonight, the Raiders.
Let's go to the sidelines. Steve Roach.
Yeah, super game from Brett Hetherington. He didn't train yesterday because of the flu. He's been replaced by David Wesley. Watch this bloke go. How strong's he?
Wesley on. And Hetherington off then. As Furner disentangles himself from the tacklers, and Stewart keeps it end on end and over the sideline, down about 18 metres out from the Canterbury line. Ricky Stewart, Rothmans and Dalier medalists last year.
I think it's the best game we've seen David Furner play as well. He's been in good form. But also the goal kicking. I've always thought that maybe that was a little bit of a weakness in the Canberra side. Maybe Furner not right up there with the sharpshooters of the competition. But in the last 2 weeks, he kicked 8 from 8 last week, and he's hit the post twice tonight. So even though he hasn't got a perfect record, he hasn't been far away.
Jerry Lamb trying to make something for them, but the ball has gone to ground. A frustrating night for Canterbury and for their captain. But whilst it's been frustrating for them, you've got to sit back and marvel, if you follow them, enjoy what this Canberra side has done tonight. 9 handling errors to 5. And here they come again. Meninga the first. 28 metres out from the line, a 3-man Canterbury tackle, holding Meninga down for a longer period of time. And Croker does the showing of the football, turns around the corner, looked forward to me, and it was to McCallum.
That's the second time from scrum wins that Canberra have hit one in and gone back to the blind side with set plays. As I said earlier in the night, they're not normally a side to do this, but now getting the opportunity to practice a few things that they're probably going to take into the semi-final series. Not that they'll take these exact plays, but they'll have certain variations of them, and it's a good time to practice them when they're 26-2 in front on the scoreboard against quality opposition.
Played by Jason Williams. That is Simon Gillies.
Interesting tactic there by Canberra off the scrum base. When they haven't got the feed, Ricky Stewart, the halfback who would normally stand at the scrum base, stands well back on the 10-metre line, and the first player off the scrum base, the 5'8", stands well within the 10 metres, getting the first man who comes around. That'll be interesting to see how referees interpret that when they watch the video this week.
starting to wonder about Dean Pay's inclusion at all.
He's got to be injured, Ray.
Well, that's obvious, but, you know, I'm wondering why he was probably on the bench at all. 40 metres out from the Canberra line. Hetherington, who's played a larger part of the game than Ben Gillies. Ben took a heavy knock early on. He came back for a little while late in the first half, but he's not back with us anymore, it seems, as Darren Smith gets a perfect pass. He's got support outside. That support will score. Jason Williams scores. Canterbury strike back.
They do it with a very nice backline move here, well orchestrated. They send through some decoy runners. The second man passed, but really it was the fact that Darren Smith was able to get outside Mal Meninga that scores the try. You can see there that the Canberra defence had to stop to see where the pass was going, and that allowed Darren Smith, with a touch more speed than his opponent, to set Jason Williams up on the outside. Stewart looking for the ankle tap. Fulavai did very well to come from this blind side wing to make the kick that much harder. But when you can stop a defence and get on their outside, you've got problems. And Darren Smith showed a good turn of speed and a good pass to set up his outside man.
Nice confidence builder for Canterbury. This game might be beyond doubt now, but that's something they can live for come semi-final time. And just a reminder to the Raiders, they're not the only ones who can put tries in their back line. Nice set play.
8th try of the year for Jason Williams, another of the very much informed players. Halligan hasn't had a great deal of goal-kicking practice tonight. 22 out, about 9 in, and here it comes and getting away. Darryl Halligan misses. And 26-6 is the score. Friday Night League from Bruce Stadium in the national capital.
7:30 Tuesday, look out for the funniest pics on home videos.
I'm going to U2 tonight with Jake.
Then on Bob Morrison,
Jake is gay.
The Curse of Jealousy.
I'm going to convert him.
At 8:30,
this neighborhood's going to hell.
Married with Children.
First a double homicide, and now this.
And look who's dropped in.
Hey, are you sure that you are?
Yes, I'm sure.
Also,
aren't you?
Not good. I hated that show.
Then Hale and Pace, non-stop laughs Tuesday on Win.
Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, specialists in the marketing of prime quality properties throughout Canberra, are proud to present Victoria Terrace Braddon, overlooking leafy parklands close to the city. Your choice of 1, 2 or 3 bedroom apartments, some with ensuite. For those who appreciate city living while still enjoying tranquility, Victoria Terrace in Braddon is highly recommended. To view plans or select your apartment, phone Ron Bell Real Estate Proprietary Limited, Yarralumla, today.
Saturday, August 6 is Tats Lotto Super Draw Night with a Division 1 prize pool of $12 million. Get your ticket now.
Takes me out of here.
It's back! The fantastic Birchgrove sofa in a great new range of fabrics. Most furniture stores charge between $5.99 and $6.99. But from Fantastic Furniture, it's not $4.99, not $3.99, not even $2.99. You pay just $199. Full size in a great range of designer fabrics with a 5-year warranty. Only from a Fantastic Furniture store near you. Full size, great fabrics, 5-year warranty, just $199. Don't miss out.
That's incredible. 2 large pizzas for only $15.90. Wow!
Choose any 2 large Pizza Haven pizzas for only $15.90. There's even 4 new ones on the menu.
Hurry, Brett. The offer only lasts for a limited time.
You know, some people reckon country music's just
dull.
Some even think it's
boring.
Maybe even a bit
old hat.
Some even say it's
I like watching paint dry.
Well, not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Garth Brooks.
I've never had a heartache. Our eyes are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain. It's out of my hands, I'm shaking.
biggest-selling recording artist in the world today. Garth Brooks. The pop phenomenon of the 90s, and you'll know why when you hear his 3 brilliant albums, No Fences, Rope in the Wind and In Pieces.
You know the deal? 3 wishes and all that?
I want a packet of Tim Tams that never runs out.
You have 2 wishes left.
And it's Tim Tam. What more could you want?
Canberra then. They start for us at the 56th minute, and Jim Dimmock comes off his own line with a good run of about 18 metres. Darren Brett didn't take the line on that time. He ran to it before passing. He normally gets himself in traffic and tries to get a pass away, but that time was just a variation of Darren Brett taking it forward. Mark Brokenshire. The ball back with Jason Smith. He gets it out the back for Hetherington. Hetherington, he loses the ball, but it's been raked out, so it's a penalty to Canterbury.
Ricky Stewart there, the man responsible with the left hand, raking the ball out. Good work there, Jason Smith getting involved. I suppose that has shown the quality of the Canberra defence. Jason Smith has been very quiet tonight.
Canterbury tried just a couple of minutes back. Can they get across that line again? Polomouta for Brett and then for Dimmock. Dimmock gets it away, but it's been taken by a Canberra player.
Steve Welders, is it?
Yeah.
He's a freak, isn't he? How would he have got there? The Stewart takes out from dummy half. Again, a good little set move on the fringe of the ruck there. Good short ball through Stewart. Good tackle from Mullins. And your hooker coming back as a second line.
It's just the enthusiasm to be there, isn't it? I mean, some players will knock off and think their job is done. These Canberra players, they're on the ball the whole time. Very enthusiastic. When the ball goes past them, they're honest. They keep chasing.
Canberra working it out from inside their own 20-metre line, and McCallum calling it back. Canberra getting David Boyle ready to come on.
Talking about players that have been a little bit quiet tonight, I think Jim Dimmock's been fairly quiet. He's been one of the former Canterbury players this year at the 5'8" role. Moving into lock forward, Terry Lamb coming in, commanding more of the ball. And a new half 5'8" combination. Jim Dimmock taken out of the play to some extent.
Darren Smith on the 20-metre line. There's a good chance here for Canterbury. Second tackle is with us. And Kraken put down. Strong defence by Wesley. Hetherington works the blind. Goes inside from Simon Gillies for Jason Smith. And they're 12 metres out from the line now. Midway through the tackle count. Hetherington for Polomouta. And then Britt. Now Lamb. And shoveled away by Williams. It's with Darren Smith. He draws the defence and gives it to Lamb inside to Williams. Then a one-hander back for Darren Smith and across for Craig Polomouta. Polomouta goes in one side, comes out the other, but runs into Mullins. 12 metres away from the line. Can Canterbury get it over the line? Dimmock for Simon Gillies, and he's put down. That's tackle number 5. As Hetherington goes in, waits for the call. It goes out for Jason Smith, the flick pass. It came off the boot of Terry Lamb and goes in touch in goal.
What about that? It was the reverse flick with the pike, and then Terry Lamb has got his foot to the ball. The chasers were offside, but this is the last tackle. Jason Smith going up. Throws the flick. I don't know whether that was meant for Darren Brett. And Terry Lamb, he was a mile offside Jason Williams, so it wouldn't have been a try. Pongia leaves the field. David Boyle in 41 goes on. Some desperation from Canterbury coming to no avail.
This is Wesley, put down by Hetherington. Down the legs and Darren Britt over the top, and here's Stewart throwing dummies left and right before picking up the runner that he was looking for, and that is Jason Croker.
Peter Sterling, I mean, Laurie Daly to come back fit and well before the semi-finals. Obviously going to go back into the 5'8" role. Where do you put Jason Croker?
Well, Phil Gould, I think they'll probably put him on the wing, I would say. Great hands there from Brad Clyde a moment ago, but it's an embarrassment of riches, isn't it? Tim Sheens, you said it was important 30 minutes for Canterbury. It's also an important end of the game for Canberra as well, this next 18 minutes or so, that they don't get too flamboyant and they keep control of things. Yes, try things, experiment with things, but they need to be disciplined with it.
It's Terry Lamb now, 42 metres out from his own line. Do you suspect that that's the message that went out from the bench via the trainer?
I'm sure it is.
After that show of anguish from Tim Sheens?
I'm sure it is. I mean, as a coach, you want them to go right to the 80 minutes. They may well have this game won a long way from home, but you can get into bad habits. They don't want to give Canterbury a sniff at all that they've got a chance come semi-final time if the two teams meet again. Tim Sheens would like them to control the ball for 6 tackles, make Canterbury play from their own end and let Canterbury make the mistakes. Canberra, if they do that, are capable of putting more points on the board and, I mean, really snuffing Canterbury out.
Brad Clyde then, just 8 metres on the Canberra side of halfway. A scoreboard of 26-6 in favour of the Raiders. As Canberra make it up now to the halfway line, and Steve Walters, who's been brilliant out from dummy half tonight.
Great player.
Backup work has been very good. Support work good. Always alert. Stewart shaped a kick, then pass. Croker put it on the boot and it finds the line 12 metres out.
Tim Sheens would be happy that end of the set of 6 right from now to the end of the game. Keep giving the ball to Canterbury at their end of the field. Make them work hard. Make them spread the ball around in their own end. Hopefully they come up with mistakes. And, I mean, you dominate them territorially. He doesn't want Canberra doing anything too fancy from their own end and inviting Canterbury back into the game. He doesn't want Canterbury to build on their confidence.
Let's just have a look here where Ricky Stewart, there you see him walking out of shot over near Nandruku. That's where the halfback is, and you can see there they had one Canberra player standing up within the 10 metres, as Phil Gould was pointing out.
Meninga's right in his face, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think they'll have to get a ruling on that. I can't see where that's legal. Well, maybe it is. It's certainly a posing question for the referees during the week.
Well, it's different, isn't it? What they're saying is that the man on the left side of the scrum is taking up the onside position that Ricky Stewart would have if he was at the scrum base.
Exactly. That being the case, Bradley Clyde would immediately drop to the blind side when the scrum was lost to take up Ricky's position at the scrum base, and they certainly closed down any scrum base move from the opposition. Interesting ploy. Again, the Raiders being innovative.
Halligan flirting with that sideline, but I guess it's a time that you're entitled to flirt with danger, and this is Mullins now just outside the 20-metre line. Ruben Wiki reaching the 30-metre line. That's what's in front of Canberra. 3 matches remaining. Away to Illawarra, home to the Magpies, and away to Manly. And what a match that's going to be.
Interesting period for Brett Mullins in his career too. I mean, been getting a lot of raps lately, scoring a lot of tries, a dynamic performance last week, albeit some poor chase from Newcastle on various occasions presented opportunities. But he's certainly going to be very closely marked over the coming weeks by some very talented teams. And it's going to be a test of his attitude and his aptitude to put that behind him and keep just working away, waiting for the breaks to come.
Clyde trying to break through, does so, shrugs off another tackle and reaches almost the 20-metre line. Canberra now brewing up to what appears another try with Stewart turning it inside. Furner is on the end of a solid tackle from Jason Smith. Walters, Stewart flicks it out the back for Lomax. Lomax has Polamatta around his ankles, raked off the ground, and again by Walters, back for Mullins. And the Canterbury player, Simon Gillies, has been injured in the tackle, leaving no marker, which Mullins capitalises on, and he takes it within 12 metres of the line. Walters scurries into dummy half. Mullins had a Canterbury player at marker interfering with the play of the ball, but McCallum lets play go on, and the Canterbury saved the day, but it's a line dropout.
I tend to think if Canberra had it for use for football, they scored the try, they'd created the overlap. A little kick will do. Let's just have a look. I think it's David Furner out wide here that creates... I think if the short pass is thrown there to Furner, he's on to Wiki and there's an overlap straight away. Points maybe not really their priority at the moment. Stopping points more important for them, and they do get the ball back. Simon Gillies leaving the field.
And Darren Britt has also come from the field. Canterbury with some changes in their team at this fairly late stage in the game. The ball to be played by Wesley just outside the 20-metre line. 6 more tackles. Struck 4 in the play the ball. Lomax gets it out, and Clyde tries to get it away. Eventually Boyle scoops it up off the ground, gets to the 20-metre line, and he's pulled down.
Gillies hasn't left the field, Ray. He's getting back in the defensive line now.
Okay, Walters comes away, running to the left of the field, the open side. Clyde is with it. There's the pass, bouncing twice out wide for Croker. And Croker is put down by Terry Lamb. Getting an assist from one of his teammates. They're 20 metres out from the Canterbury line. Meninga a dummy half. Furner, a busy game by David Furner. Picked up and driven into the ground, and McCallum doesn't like the tackle. Furner's... I think he's okay. Watch it, was there lifting in the tackle? Well, it wasn't lifting in that groin area, like we've come to understand is taboo. But there was certainly a suggestion that the tackle was dangerous as Canberra take the tap. Walters 12 metres away from the line, right in the centre of the ground. And now Stewart from the right works the left. Clyde taken by Jason Smith. Simon Gillies. Jason Hetherington coming over the top. Walters away for Stewart. He holds it back and fires it wide. Mandruku. Noah, he's put down. Kraken, the chief tackler. Meninga using David Boyle, and Boyle almost over the line. He's only a metre short. Canberra with a mile of numbers out on this side, the left of the ground. Stewart picks up a second man play, and Croker it is that's put away. The last tackle, and it's with Stewart to go to the air again. Canterbury going back, Canberra coming forward. Ricky puts it down. Is that his third try? Ricky gets it down, and the try is given by Greg McCallum. 30 points to 6 after 69 minutes.
And everything going right here for Canberra. I think he's got to almost give half the try to fool the boy. Is it the man that climbs up, gets control of it? No, in fact, it's Bradley Clyde who gets the last touch, and Ruben Wiki there. No doubt that there was no knock on. Play on, just good chase, good pressure from the outside men in Clyde and Foulabai. They climb high over the top of Halligan. There's Wiki on hand, as he has been all night, to get another 4-pointer.
Nice option from Canberra. I said earlier in the show, the usual tactic against Canterbury is to bomb their wingers. Canberra came up with the option to bomb the post early on. Mullins come up with a great try. Now they went back to the conventional. Scott Wilson over behind his post, protecting them. Halligan was left on his own, and the Canberra players were able to get up above him and tap the ball back. 3 tries for Ruben Wiki, who's off to the Auckland Warriors next year.
Worrying situation for Chris Anderson, coming here and getting beaten one thing, but the magnitude of this loss obviously a concern for the Canterbury coach. 30 points to 6. Canterbury winning the first round encounter between these two sides at Belmore, and it does seem that they're going to be in at least one encounter on neutral turf during the month of September, as the kick is perfectly accurate. David Furner capping a tremendous game. 10 minutes to go. This was the try. This was the end of it. Foulabai made it possible. Clyde got a little hand in there, but Ruben Wiki just fell over the line and said, "Thank you, that is my third try."
24, young Stephen Price has gone on for Jason Smith. Stephen Price, a Commonwealth Bank Cup player, played for Harristown on the Toowoomba sides and did very well. And they've got very big raps on the man making the tackle there, going low. Back rower, with good skills, being blooded in the last couple of weeks by Chris Anderson.
He's a very good player, Peter. I've been watching some lower grade tapes over the past week, and he's figured very prominently with Canterbury in the lower grades for some time. Plenty of skills, nice and tough. Been brought along nice and slowly, and he's going to see plenty of first grade in his career.
Canberra's Steve Walters has been near enough to one of the best on the park tonight. Ansett, of course, make our man of the match prize money available on a Friday. Ansett, we thank them. And who will be the man of the match in this one? We'll find that out at the end of this 10-minute segment of play as Croker puts it across the top. Jason Williams is with it.
A lot of Canterbury players walking, Ray, isn't there?
Well, it's been a fairly draining encounter for them, I guess, in more ways than one. It's not easy coming down here, as well you know. I was just talking to you at half-time. You guys didn't get the chance to play here at night time.
No, that's right. Well, I had a very interesting chat with Tim Sheens before the match here tonight. He said it's not really the cold that is the problem for teams coming down here. It's the fact that because you're so high over sea level here, the air is very thin and it's difficult. It's different playing at the level that they do in Sydney. To come down here, you hit that brick wall and it's very tough to get your second wind. They acclimatise early in the season.
Darren Smith now with a charge down the right of the ground. Dimmick supports him. And that's the end of 5 tackles, 28 metres out from the Canberra line.
Doesn't make any sense.
Lamb looking on the blind side again. It came down and it may have come off Canterbury. Referee McCallum ordering that the pass was forward anyway, and that's the turnover for Canberra. As long as you understood what you were talking about, that's fine.
I just think it's tough to breathe, right? That's where they struggle.
I've heard of altitude training at the Olympics, but I hadn't figured it in football. Of course, at the end of the season, they put them in a humidity crib here to get rid of used to the heat in Sydney, don't they?
Yeah, there's a mission there.
Is it the same feeling when you're walking off the track after the last with nothing in your pocket? Hard to breathe? Thanks, Sterlo. Halfway line. Stewart running to the right and stopping and jinking and coming back with a pass for Bradley Clyde. Swarm of Canterbury defence men over him. But far too often they've dropped off in defence, Canterbury. Stewart now, he's having an absolute picnic out there. He's like an orchestra conductor. Thank God he doesn't look like Jeff Harvey. But there's Stewart keeping it low now, and Canterbury are back to field it. And now Williams is up to the halfway line, support on his outside. Scotty Wilson tackled, and now Nandruku tries to pull him over the sideline. Polomauta, a long pass out for Simon Gillies. Dimmick, Lamb, Darren Smith. Darren striding out, the ball knocked down by Canberra into the clutches of Brett Mullins. And Brett is over the sideline, so Canterbury will get the feed here.
Well, if Darren Smith could have looked inside, he had an unmarked Terry Lamb. I don't know whether Terry was calling for the football, but you'll see Lamb on the inside. It's good work getting the ball across wide enough to catch out the Canberra defence here. Darren Smith, look at the inside there. Terry Lamb, nobody there at all apart from the number 6. Trying to get the pass on the outside. The ball was knocked down. Slid over the sideline.
One of the most impressive parts about Canberra tonight is their recovery in defence. Whenever Canterbury have come up with a half break, they've immediately got back in position well before the ball's played on the next play and got their defence in order. They're going to need all of that at September.
Williams. 25 out from the Canberra line. Across for Polomauta. Then Lamb. Dimmick is with it. And it's pulled down by Ruben Wiki. Bradley Clyde has not stopped working all night. But then again, we've come to expect that, haven't we, of Bradley Clyde. That pass looked a shade forward. Play went on. And Canberra come up with the ball as Martin Bella's unable to catch it. Clyde now catches both markers going the same way. Polomauta and Bella both running to the right, and Clyde with a step off his left foot was able to pinch 10 metres. And now Quentin Pongia. 35 out from the Canberra line. Stewart. Keeping them guessing. On that occasion, he was keeping his own men guessing, but Meninga did well. Walters. And the only blemish that one could find on the Steve Walters game. That's the turnover. 10 metres into Canberra's area for the Bulldogs. Simon Gillies. Right back by Walters. He was able to make up for his error pretty quickly. Nandruku with some evasive work. Almost to the halfway line. Jason Deeth is out there now. Stewart. Pulled down by Polomauta. Wesley. Steve Walters, where's he playing now? The ball knocked down by Quentin Pongia, and Canterbury get the advantage. Bella on the blind side. Clock showing only 2.5 minutes remaining. We had a football match for about 20 minutes, but then Canberra ran away in the second 20-minute segment of the game, and they've gone on with it. Comprehensive victory coming up for the Raiders.
Of course, now Ray gives North Sydney a chance, a giant step towards the minor premiership with their game on Sunday, an important clash at Penrith Stadium, with probably the easier draw leading up to the semi-finals. Well, I've honestly believed, and I know Peter Sterling does, that being minor premiers is a huge advantage at that time of year, and North Sydney won't want that one to slip by on Sunday. Panthers will be stiff opposition.
Well, the other thing that is interesting to note, that Norths have beaten both these sides.
In fact, both times that these sides have beaten last, I think Canterbury have won 5 in a row, Canberra 4, but before that it was North Sydney team that inflicted the defeat, so their form looks very good at the right end of the season.
A lot of people trying to forecast who will play the grand final this year. We've got a minute and a quarter, Phil. Your choice. Your thoughts.
Well, I've said that I think North Sydney are playing this year's grand final. I think they've been the form team all season. They had a little lapse in the middle of the year during representative time, but they've put 7 wins on the trot and now another run of successes, and they're going to be minor premiers by virtue of their draw. That is a huge advantage. They're only going to have to win 1 game to get there. How can you deny Canberra on what you've seen tonight? If they can force their way into the top 3, they get an opportunity to do that when playing Manly in the last game of the year. The Canberra-Norths grand final, and North Sydney, in their only meeting this year, scored a very convincing 30 to 10 win or 30 to 12 win.
Bella does well, turns it back around the corner. The pass then thrown, a speculator. Croker gets it back, and Meninga is up and trying to keep it alive, but he's tackled on the halfway line. Sterlo, which ones do you think will be there?
I'll wait until the top 3's decided. Thanks, Ray.
Okay, thank you. Clyde. Ricky tries to split through. The ball goes loose. Picked up by Pongia, and he's slammed away over the top by Brokenshire.
I didn't know you could do that. I'd like to change mine until I wait to the top 3 team.
Okay. Stewart's kick, fielded by Mullins. Mullins brushes away from one and turns it back. And Fullerby. Fullerby gets his second. Right on the full-time siren. Canberra extend their lead. 36-6.
Well, that just puts the icing on the cake, doesn't it? Beautiful little kick once again. We've seen it's at the 3rd try from kicks tonight. Again, it was a planned move for Brett Mullins. What about the ease that he beat Scott Wilson in catching the football? And then Fullerby, who again has done a good job tonight on hand to score. But it's the ability of the kick to find space and to find the man that it is intended for. Ordinary attempt there from Stephen Hughes. Learn from that. And I guess that has been the problem for Canterbury tonight. They've missed a lot of easy tackles, which they haven't been guilty of for 18 rounds.
Again, great reward for practice. Ricky Stewart, he's come up with a kick for Brett Mullins' try. He's come up with a kick for Ruben Wickie's try, and now again for Albert Fullerby. All pinpoint accuracy, all planned moves, all landing in the right spot.
So all that remains is for the new kicker to put it over. Ricky Stewart. Showing selectors that he's got another talent. And here he is from almost in front, and he misses. So there it is, full time from Bruce. 36-6 in favour of the home side, Canberra, keeping their record intact at home since the first match of 1993. 20 wins in a row at home for Canberra. 36-6. They don't come any more comprehensive than that. But I still think that maybe these two sides will be there on grand final day. Canterbury obviously can only learn from it, and have already proven earlier in the year that they can beat Canberra. They did that in the first round. It's all up to the Sydney Football Stadium now to sort out what is going to be, and we've said this before, an incredible semi-final series. I do think that the league are in for bumper crowds right through these semi-finals, because we have got, I would think quite obviously, the best 5 sides heading for that appointment the last weekend in August right through to the last in September. Tim Sheen's having an on-field chat with the Raiders, and they'll go over to the Hill crowd and do as they normally do and thank them as Coach Sheens heads back for the sheds, and Canterbury, a dejected team, leaving for the same venue. He's a tough man, isn't he, Lomax? Steve Roach has been tough tonight as well, though. He braved it on that sideline. He didn't cover as much territory, but he braved it down around 1 degree here. And they hail this Canberra Raiders unit. A magnificent success story since 1982. That takes us out of here. For the time being, we're back after the break with the Ansett man of the match, and Peter Sterling, and Steve Roach, and Phil Gould. Here's a break, and we're back in just a moment.
Saturday, 8:30, a special presentation.
Father wants the kind of woman I can't be.
Relive the true story that enchanted millions of Australians. Glenn Close and Christopher Walken in Sarah, Plain and Tall Saturday. Then on Monday, Win Television proudly presents the acclaimed heartwarming sequel, Skylark.
You have to go, Sarah.
The greatest love story in recent times.
What will happen to us?
For the first time on television, Skylark, 8:30 Monday on Win.
In the not-too-distant future, in a society of perfect order, aggression will no longer exist. But a blast from the past is about to change all that. Demolition Man. Guaranteed. Another reason why the choice is easy. Video Easy.
It's a $3 million Oriental carpet clearance sale by the trade delegation from the People's Republic of China. Thousands of genuine handmade pure woolen and silk rugs must be cleared at amazing bargains. All classical, pastel and simple designs are available in round, oval, runner and other sizes. 50 to 85% off the market prices. It will save you up to thousands of dollars.
77 Gladstone Street, Fishwick, Canberra.
Always cheaper, cheaper. Your Fix It Up for Spring catalogue is out now. Paint roller kit, total 7 items, cheap at $17.50. Save $24 on the storage basket set, now just $45. Black & Decker cordless drill kit, $99 only. Save $40. Get your Fix It Up catalogue out now. Magnet Mart, always cheaper, cheaper. Oi!
The new Honda Accord, Wheels Car of the Year for 1994. With the genius of VTEC, the reassurance of airbag. The new Honda Accord, available now at your local Honda dealer.
Follow the flags to Festival's Foods of the World promotion. By spending just $20, you could win a fabulous Ford Capri filled with fine Sockerman foods, or a Cathay Pacific trip for 2 to London with 1 week's accommodation, or one of 140 hampers filled with Sockerman goodies. And save on 354-gram jars of Sharwood's chutney, $3.79, and Twining tea bags, pack of 10, just 89 cents. So take off to Festival's Foods of the World promotion, and you could be taking off in your new Ford Capri.
Saturday.
Can you see anything?
I can see you. You'd be surprised.
You had a lot of pluck.
By what you can see on Hey Hey. TV's biggest giggle.
They said jumbo. I thought they meant the size.
With the Screaming Jets, Nick Barker and my friend the Chocolate Cake on Hey Hey.
Difficult not to install the Canberra Raiders as the premiership favourites after a great performance here at Bruce Stadium, which has seen them defeat Canterbury Bankstown 36 points to 6. The biggest defeat for Canterbury all year, 7 tries to 1, which saw Wiki get 3, Fulavai 2, Mullins and Meninga all from the backs from this great Canberra side getting over the line. Furner 4 from 7, Stewart none from 1, and for Canterbury, Jason Williams their only try scorer. Daryl Halligan kicked 1 from 2. But as we saw last week against Newcastle, a tremendous all-round performance from this Raiders outfit. Made it again difficult to pick the man of the match, but the man we did choose is now with Steve Roach.
Well, the Ansett Australia man of the match, $1,000 goes to David Furner. Dave, I don't think I've ever seen a team in awesome enough form in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, we're starting to string a couple of good games together. I just think tonight was our night. You know, we had a good crowd here, and we're just used to the weather up here.
Yeah, I'm sure you blokes didn't get involved in any of the niggle. You scored a couple of tries. That was set at half-time, obviously.
Oh, yeah, we just had to, keep our heads down, make sure our ball security is a little bit better in the second half, and it seemed to pay off.
Have to be a bit of a confidence booster. You know that you'll play Canterbury, obviously, again. That boosts your confidence?
Oh, yeah, I think they'll be a different side when we meet them again. So, looking forward to it.
Dave, also the goal kicking, you seem to be hitting them really well tonight.
Yeah, a little bit happier with the kicking. I've been putting in a little bit more time, so it's slowly paying off.
Well, I'll let you get in and out of the cold, and I do too, mate, so congratulations.
Thanks very much, Blocker.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers.
One of the few unsung heroes in this Canberra Raiders outfit. Had a tremendous first half, especially while the game was still a game, involving quite a few tries. And he will obviously take the major points in the Dally M Awards. But now that the voting has gone into secrecy, we won't be divulging who got the other points. So you'll have to tune into the Footy Show this Sunday and in ensuing weeks for an opportunity to win $5,000 worth of Samsung products. When the Footy Show on, obviously at 12 noon every Sunday, we'll be looking for you guys to nominate who you think will be the player of the year, and the winner will take away that $5,000 worth of great product. And Phil Gould, Canberra tonight, for either side to win, it was going to be a good victory, but the magnitude, that's the thing that I think has thrown everybody.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's it doesn't do Canterbury's confidence any good on the eve of the semi-finals. It can also be a bit of a drawback for Canberra. I mean, complacency could set in a less than experienced side than Canberra. I know that Tim Sheens was quick to surround his troops in the middle of the field and ask them to thank the crowd and very quietly leave the field. He's got his foot on them straight away. I don't think complacency will be their problem. And Canberra on a march towards another grand final, they're going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, I guess all the fans here, the Canberra fans all around the country, got their fingers crossed that Ricky Stewart can stay fit. Of course, last year we saw what the Canberra Raiders did with Stewart not in the football lineup. They were going well there, but Stewart makes such a difference. Had a great game again tonight, as he's done all season, and he now joins Andrew Voss in the dressing sheds.
Well, Ricky, I won't get you to make comparisons between sides of 89 and 90, but have you played in a Canberra side which has played with so much confidence as this one?
Oh, no, we got a lot of breaks tonight come our way. A couple of push passes went our way, and a couple of their push passes went to ground. So, a lot of that makes up for a lot of difference in the scoreline. As it's been said earlier, that they just didn't take opportunity of a couple of the breaks they made. Canterbury are a very good side, and it's only 2 points, as Steve said, and we've just got to keep our heads down. We're getting more vulnerable as the competition goes on because we keep winning. I mean, the more games you win on a trot, the sooner a loss is going to come.
Still matches against Illawarra and Manly to come in the last 3 weeks of the premiership. I mean, that could decide whether you have a top 3 spot.
It will decide. Tonight's win is very important because it really makes sure that we're in the top 5 now. But we've never played well at Illawarra Stadium. They've always come away with the points there. It's very hard when you're down there, and we've just got to look towards next week now. But as I said, the more wins you get on a trot, there's a loss coming somewhere. So we've just got to keep our heads down and keep practising and preparing the way we have been.
Best still to come for Canberra this year?
Oh, we just got to keep going forward as our forward pack are, because we've got a back line that can keep playing good football off them.
Yeah, nice to see that all the Canberra side know that they've got to keep the lid on things, not get carried away with what is happening. And now, of course, the top 3 must be their aim. Footy Tab tonight, well, I don't think anybody would have thought that they would have got to this kind of scoreline. 36-6 for Pick the Score, paid $740.85. And on Sunday, we go out to the Sydney Football Stadium for a very important clash, looking at the competition of the final 5, with the South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the Illawarra Steelers, who go in this weekend in equal 5th spot with Brisbane. And Phil Gould, that game for the Illawarra Steelers